Can you clear your calendar?
Absolutely, Dr. King. Good Lord, do I have some questions for you, sir. Hi, it's Tavis.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother. This is Minister Malcolm. Now, I heard that you and Martin are getting together for a public dialogue on February 28th. You see, now I already know the date. Now, I know y'all not trying to keep me out of that conversation, are you?
No, sir. No, sir.
What happened to George Floyd shouldn't happen, not even to a dog. How long must the Negro continue to endure this foolishness at the hands of law enforcement? People can take but so much before they reach a breaking point.
What do you mean, Black Lives Matter? Black lives haven't mattered in this country since Negroes stopped working for free at the end of slavery. You ought to be talking about Black Guns Matter and start your own NRA. Call it the Negro Revolutionary Amalgamation.
Don't miss this compelling historic radio event, The Return. When Tavis Smiley converses with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. Tuesday, February 28th, 9 a.m. Pacific Time, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yo, I come from a small city where nothing is handed. Took my talents and made them work for me, look where I landed. I know a lot of those out there really don't want me having it. They just mad that I'm creeping on them and they had advantages. See, when my voice is on, I let my voice be the change. Put it in these communities, let it give them some range. Let them know that they got a shot at anything they want. And it ain't all about the teaching, but really how they responded. And here on KBLA Talk 1580, we gon' get into it. The whole world on Smiley out of your media. The others tell it, but they truths have some limits. We got that food for soul, now what they feeding, yeah. Black lives matter all the time. Yeah, let's talk about it. About the school to prison pipeline. Yeah, let's talk about it. Police brutality out of line. Yeah, let's talk about it. All these thoughts running through my mind. We gotta talk about it. I am unapologetically progressive in efforts to fight for the people. Gotta exercise our voting rights and then push the needle. I'm walking tall, cause I know that y'all expect me to lead. To push the message I am willing to bleed. I gotta get what I need. That's social reform, that's prison reform. I'm highly informed, don't put down a pen. I got a list, I can't resist. I preach it till I talk with a list. And who you know gon' give it to you like this? And here on KBLA Talk 1580, we gon' get into it. The whole world on Smiley out of your media. The others tell it, but they truths have some limits. We got that food for soul, now what they feeding you. Black lives matter all the time. Yeah, let's talk about it. About the school to prison pipeline. Yeah, let's talk about it. Police brutality out of line. Yeah, let's talk about it. All these thoughts running through my mind. We gotta talk about it.
Yeah, man, let's talk about it. We got a lot to talk about right here. KBLA Talk 1580. Welcome to the Danny Morrison Show, the whole 9 of the nighttime, right at 9 Thursday night. I love it. This is the night of the week when Queen Robin and I let our hair down and share dialogue on topics that may come across as a little more trivial and superficial, but highly important nonetheless. A tradition that will conceivably continue into 2023. And I'll be honest, tonight might get a little uncomfortable. And that's saying a lot considering already during this abbreviated broadcast week, we've touched on the Bruce family choosing the bag over building generational wealth here in LA. We touched on the black church becoming a dinosaur within the confines of the black community with no evidence of evolution being on its way. But tonight, we will embark on a topic of conversation that just may make you question whether the presumed impenetrable blackness you were born with could ever be seen as papier-mâché. Let me explain. You see, the entire topic centered around Miss Melissa Vivian Jefferson, also known as the musical artist Lizzo. Y'all know Lizzo, 34 years old, singer, rapper, songwriter, originally hailed from Detroit, Michigan. She would later move to Minneapolis, where she would launch her career in hip-hop and R&B. Lizzo had some success, but didn't achieve major success until she dropped her third studio album in 2019 called 'Cause I Love You. That spawned the hit singles Juice, Tempo, Good as Hell, and the viral sensation that everyone was singing in the shower, Truth Hurts. And now in 2023, Lizzo is one of the top musical artists in the world, who has won a plethora of awards, including 3 Grammy Awards, a Primetime Emmy Award, 2 Soul Train Music Awards, a Billboard Music Award, a BET Award, and even a Guinness World Record. Lizzo has finally arrived. Now, Lizzo has received a lot of criticism since she burst onto the music scene almost 5 years ago, and most of that criticism has been directed at her size. As you know, Lizzo is by all definitions a full-figured woman. But you all might recall that the criticism directed towards Lizzo reached critical mass last year when a now canceled comedian took it upon himself to take things a little too far. Listen.
Yo, you know somebody that actually make good music, man? Lizzo.
Lizzo?
Yeah, bro. Have you heard her, yo? Like, as a songwriter, yo.
I can't get past the fact that she looks like an emoji. She's got a very pretty face, but she keeps showing her body on. Like, come on, man. Come on, yo. I'm sorry. Listen, I ain't the most in shape in the world, but I still, you know, when you funny and you got swagger and confidence and you decent looking, I think I'm at least handsome, you get me. But a woman that's built like a plate of mashed potatoes is in trouble. You know what kills me about women is the hypocrisy and the contradiction. Yes, queen, slay, queen. Yes, queen, slay. Yeah, girl, your confidence. Diabetes, heart problems, heart disease,
Cancellation.
cholesterol. Y'all claim womanhood and about sisterhood and support for your sister, you know, when it come to that ridiculous. But if you really gave, why wouldn't you go, black girl, we love you, we love your confidence, boo-boo, but this ain't it. This ain't it. That's the real love. Y'all will jump on me for making jokes, but y'all want to be real and go, sister, put the eclair down. This ain't it. It's treadmill time.
God don't like ugly, huh? And Ari Spears ain't joking too much these days, is he? Karma's undefeated. Is fate getting what you deserve or deserving what you get? But back on topic. But that ain't the only criticism that Lizzo has had to deal with since her meteoric rise to the big time. She's had to deal with being too aggressive, and being told she's being too loud, or being too goofy in her music videos, or being too ignorant of childhood obesity, or being too much of an advocate for the LGBTQ. But this latest round of criticism is one that I had heard before in the past, but I never thought that such superficial condemnation could ever be entertained by a queen who has become an international musical sensation. But little did I know that the same woman that is always singing about how truth hurts is coincidentally the same woman that wasn't quite prepared to be hurt by black people giving her their truth. Check this out. During an interview with Vanity Fair magazine back in November of last year for their cover story featuring Lizzo, she explained how she's being unfairly criticized by the black community for her crossover success. Actually, to be more specific, Lizzo told Vanity Fair that we believe simply that she makes music for white people. Her exact words were, quote, "The thing is, when a black artist reaches a certain level of popularity, it's going to be a predominantly white crowd. I am not making music for white people. I am a black woman. I am making music for my black experience, for me to heal myself from the experience we call life. We need self-love and self-love anthems more than anybody. So am I making music, excuse me, for that girl right there who looks like me, who grew up in a city where she was underappreciated and picked on and made to feel unbeautiful? Yeah, it blows my mind when people say that I'm not making music from a black perspective. How could I not do that as a black artist?" End quote. Interesting. And the following month, during a live performance and interview on the Howard Stern Show promoting her new documentary, now streaming on HBO Max, Lizzo would double down on her comments after Howard defended her and gave her the chance to respond. And this is exactly what Lizzo said. Listen.
I thought it was particularly interesting in the documentary. There's a couple of thoughts I had about the documentary. There was some comment made by you about your critics will say you write music for white people. And I'm sitting there going, you just got to write the music that's in your head. You don't know who's going to respond to it. You don't know if black people, white people, you don't know who is going to. It's an unfair criticism, and it only goes towards stifling whatever you have inside of you. I mean, it's a hurtful thing to hear that, right?
Very hurtful. Only because, like, I am a black woman, and I feel like it really, like, challenges like my identity and who I am and diminishes that, which I think is really hurtful. And then on the other end, it's like I'm making funky, soulful, feel-good music that is so similar to a lot of black music that was made for black people in the 70s and 80s. And, you know, and then on top of that, my message is literally for everybody and anybody. And I don't, you know, try to gatekeep my message from people. So all three of those things for me, I'm just like, you don't even get me at all. And I feel like a lot of people truthfully don't get me, which is why I wanted to do this documentary, because I was like, I feel like y'all don't understand me. Y'all don't know where I came from. And now I don't want to answer no more questions about this. I want to show the world like who I am.
And that she has done. Now, I'm going to get off on a rant here, but this entire conversation baffles me. As much as I love me some black people, y'all know how I get down. There are many times when I have no idea what the hell we're thinking. I'm one of those people in media that for years it has been criticizing the industry's unwillingness to bring the music of black women back to the limelight so that they can get the natural shine that they deserve. I love seeing what SZA's doing on the Billboard charts right now, by the way. And now that that is finally happening, we collectively criticize the choices. Because apparently, Lizzo ain't black enough. But this ain't brand new. We've been here, haven't we? All throughout history, every time a black musical artist crosses over into the mainstream, we feel like they no longer belong to us. We want them to be like Jay-Z. We want them to be like Mary J. Blige. We want them to be like Lauryn Hill. We want them to use our support as the fuel to reach the pinnacle of success, but still allow us to ride in the passenger seat once they caught that ride to the stratosphere, not knowing that every black musical superstar has more white buyers than black. Every single time. 70% of hip-hop is bought by white people, y'all. And a large percentage of R&B, too. And the black dollar ain't strong enough to push superstars into billion-stream territory and diamond album sales. That's not an opinion, that's math. In conclusion, this ain't even about color. It's simply about great music. Next week, Queen Robin and I will bring you a versus battle that will demonstrate how music is the great equalizer, regardless of race, color, and creed. It reminded me of that scene in I Am Legend, when Will Smith is explaining to his female counterpart how Bob Marley was the epitome of using his music to spread love. Remember? Listen.
Best album ever made. You don't recognize that? Wow. He had this idea. It was kind of a virologist's idea. He believed that you could cure racism and hate, literally cure it, by injecting music and love into people's lives. One day he was scheduled to perform at a peace rally. Gunmen came to his house and shot him down. 2 days later, he walked out on that stage and sang. Somebody asked him why. He said, the people who are trying to make this world worse are not taking a day off. How can I? Light up the darkness.
Light up the darkness, all facts. And oh, by the way, the irony of Will Smith being the protagonist in that scene, more on Will Smith later on. In conclusion, the Winans family reminded us back in 1987 that love has no color. And as a woman of color, in my opinion, Lizzo is simply making music from a place of love. Ice Cube was quoted back in the day saying that he makes music for black people and white people are just eavesdropping. That's fine. But do you mind if Lizzo is simply expanding the party for every white girl and boy? And are you willing to show love to Lizzo while she's on stage in the future, next to a white person sharing that same joy? We shall see. Perhaps another cross to bed 2023. But that's just me. Tell me what you think, L.A. Thursday night, you know we put it down for the town. Come on. Does Lizzo make music for white people? Cannot wait to hear what you got to say about this. She's hearing the criticisms, and are you one of those people that believes it to be true? And what does it even mean to make music for white people? What does that mean? She's a black woman making hip-hop, R&B, dance music. Am I missing something? And lastly, what other musical artists can you name that have received the same heat that Lizzo is receiving? This ain't brand new. We've been here a bunch of times before. Holla at your boy. Your voice to change, your voice to community. Your voice is on 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. You can also stream us via the brand new KBLA streaming app on the App Store, iOS or Android. It don't matter. That same app allows you to send me your questions and comments that I will answer live at different intervals throughout the broadcast. Plus, like, share, and follow your favorite radio station live on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KBLA 1580. Feel free to follow me at Danny Mojo on those same platforms too. Plus, me and my nighttime partner in crime, Robin Ayers, will take your comments via the ecosystem of our social network. Check this out. When we come forward, I got a bomb 7 series to add to the topic of conversation tonight. Believe it. Listen, I've been a student of the music industry since I was a kid. And I've seen this type of behavior from our people more times than I can count. And it saddens me. That's what my 7 series tonight is. Check this. 7 black musicians, past or present, who black people say make music for white people. I could give you 50 of them, but I whittled it down to 7, okay? I will share my list on the other side. I will be white back. Add to the conversation with your phone calls when we go forward. Welcome to the Danny Morrison Show, Thursday night on Unapologetically Progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Let's ride. Come on!
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles.
From middays to nighttime.
Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Dr. Erica Pond with the California Department of Public Health, reminding you of ways to help stop the spread of COVID and other viruses this winter. Boost your immunity by staying up to date with COVID boosters and flu shots. Wash your hands often with soap and warm water for at least 20 seconds. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. And protect others by staying home and testing for COVID when sick. More tips at covid19.ca.gov. Brought to you by CDPH.
Congratulations to Compton Sheriff's Department Civil Management Bureau for being selected as the KBLA Talk 1580's Office of the Week. Visit the KBLA app to enter your office to win the Office of the Week. Congratulations, Compton Sheriff's Department Civil Management Bureau.
On Sunday, January 15th at 4 p.m., SCLC Southern California presents Moving into the Promise of the Beloved Community at the 52nd Annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Legacy Celebration. President William D. Smart invites you to attend the celebration on Dr. King's birthday, Sunday, January 15th, 4 p.m. at the Sheraton LAX, 6101 West Century Boulevard. This year's event will honor community members who have made a significant impact in 2022, including our own Tavis Smiley, who will also deliver the keynote address. For tickets, call 213-268-3082 or email pastorsmart@sclc-sc.org. That's 213-268-3082 or email pastorsmart@sclc-sc.org. Don't miss SCLC Southern California's 52nd Annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Legacy Celebration, Sunday, January 15th, 4 p.m. at the Sheraton LAX.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-522-5700. 800-522-5700. 800-522-5700.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Now, I'm not here to tell you how to think, but I am here to tell you what to think about. We are broadcasting live from Leimert Park, California, streaming live on the KBLA YouTube page as we speak. Black in the Spot, another episode of the Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. First on the scene, so fresh and so clean. Let's check in with the clean, I mean. Hit it, Eddie. Come on, Thursday night. You know what we do. Come on. She's your queen. No. Both of y'all don't like it? I was trying to do.
Did Andy say no too?
He was shaking his head so hard he almost took his locks out. But
we agree.
I was trying to do something impromptu. You know
it can be by itself.
No!
It can exist by itself. Remember why we all love that sound bite in the first place?
I want some harmony. I wanna always do my due diligence to make it better.
Okay.
You know, it's like if you bring me a meal at the house, I'm gonna put a little barbecue sauce on it, put a little something extra. Make it better.
That can be insulting.
Can it? At my mama's house, it can. Like if she served you dinner or something, you know, and you over there, you piling some barbecue, you flooding it in some barbecue.
I'll bring the extra hot sauce, the ketchup if need be, the barbecue sauce or whatever. I'll bring the extra stuff on the side.
Are you that person in your purse? Are you that person?
No. I'm saying if I serve a meal, like if it's, I won't be insulted. I'm just like, you know what? You have it how you like it. So, yeah.
I dated one woman had hot sauce in her purse.
Oh, I've never done that in my life.
That is the most hood thing you could ever think of.
I have never even heard of such. I mean, I didn't hear of such a thing until Beyonce said it in her song.
Yeah, it happens.
That's crazy.
A little shot bottle like this.
Crazy.
I gotta put my girl out there.
She does it too.
Let me tell you something about my girl. She has hot sauce at my place. She has hot sauce in her car. She has hot sauce at her parents' house. She has hot sauce in her purse. She has hot sauce at her homegirl's house. She literally has hot sauce everywhere she goes.
Wow.
It must be because she likes a particular brand.
Yeah.
Tabasco.
It has to be like, Tabasco.
As long as you bring some hot sauce in the bedroom, man, you're going to be all right.
If you go to restaurants, they may have like El Tapatio or
Red
you know
Rooster.
What I mean? Yeah, different kinds. And if that's not how you rock, then I could understand bringing your own thing. If you eat hot sauce on everything.
I hate hot sauce.
Do you really?
I do.
Hot sauce is amazing.
Are you one of those people that
I
puts
don't put it on
everything?
everything. I don't, but there are certain things that it has to go on.
Captain Crunch, you put it on.
Are you really serious? Turkey legs, it's got to go on turkey legs.
Nasty.
I had a homegirl in high school. Couldn't believe what I saw. She put hot sauce in her gummy bears. Exactly.
I think we all got one of them though.
Friend?
Give me a weird mix. A weird food mix that everybody else would go, ugh.
I put what's sriracha on my salads.
See, that's nasty.
It might be strange to you.
It is strange. You put hot sauce on lettuce?
Yeah, because imagine like in a wrap, like say I don't eat meat, I don't eat chicken.
That's not bad what you're saying right now.
Yeah, so if you put it in a wrap, like I normally put sriracha on the wrap, but if I put it if I don't have it in a wrap form and it's just the lettuce and the whatever in a salad bowl, I put sriracha on there. It's bomb.
That's not bad. My weird mix, I put myself on top of my Janet Jackson poster every night.
Great. Okay, there we go.
Is that a weird mix?
And when we come forward, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm kidding. By the way, I got a package. Can I do it?
Oh, okay.
Somebody sent me this box, okay? And I said I'm going to open it live on the air.
Oh, so you haven't opened it yet.
I don't know who
You bet
sent
not.
it.
You bet. Hey.
It might,
well, you
it
don't
might
even
be
know
something
who
that I
sent
can't
it.
even. I
You
have
don't
no
know
idea.
who sent it. Oh, my goodness gracious. Something crazy
I think I know what it
may
is.
pop out.
Because I put a little something on my socials the other day.
Look at, Thirst Trap Morrison.
Okay, Andy, you saw it. Did I ask for this? No.
Wait, what did you say on your post?
Somebody told me about weighted blankets. And they said the reason that I'm not sleeping is because I don't have a weighted blanket. And I said, I don't even know what that is. I never even heard of it. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
How could you not tell me about it?
I didn't know that's why you said you weren't sleeping. I didn't see the post.
They said it helps you sleep.
Somebody got you a weighted blanket. Oh, my goodness. Who sent it? That's maybe there's a card inside.
Go to YouTube if y'all want to see what's up. You know what I'm saying? What is this?
That's just the extra little bubble thingy.
I thought that was something we want to do in the blanket.
This is fascinating. What? I want to see if somebody put a card inside, no?
There is no card. It was sent from Amazon. It just says a gift for you.
But it has no name?
It says, enjoy your gift. Praying this helps you finally get the much-needed sleep you deserve. King.
Oh.
She even know I'm a king, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, my. How do you know it's a she?
That is so true. I'm sitting here. This might be a dude sent me this.
We don't know.
Daddy, you got some explaining to do, man.
Hey, he sent me a blanket. You know, if it gets cold enough, and you know, I'm gonna do what I got.
What you be doing on your spare time, man?
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know
Oh, my goodness.
This thing is heavy. It's 25 pounds. How am I supposed to have a 25-pound blanket?
An unboxing, yes.
Look at this. It got this white girl on the cover. You know, she ain't got no 25-pound blanket.
I'm curious about, I've never had a weighted blanket. I've always had like a duvet. Those get really hot too.
You hear that, Andy?
No, they work in the same way. I've never had a weighted blanket though, something that weighs on top of you like that.
So
That's pretty cool.
Does your butler bring it to you every single night?
Yes.
You go,
shaken out and steamed first. Steamed, yes. And the pillows have got to be fluffed before I lie down for bed. So thank you very much, Butler.
Feather pillows and everything.
Butler George, thank you so much.
Hello, George.
And a spot of tea before I go to sleep.
Thank
you so much.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Shoot. Thank you, whoever sent that. God bless you. I'm gonna use that tonight, I think. It's supposed to be so heavy that it takes the energy out of you when you sleep.
Oh.
That's why it's called a weighted blanket.
Takes the energy out of you.
Yeah, it's like you get under it and it's just like you can't move, so you're so tired and it wears you down and puts you to sleep. I'm willing to try anything. Come on.
You're not willing to try anything.
What? What are you pointing at?
At your drink of choice for the night.
You know, why you gotta bring that up? What's going on with the Rock Report tonight?
Oh, man. Well, first of all, I mean, we'll talk about a few different things going on, but of course, I saw some really unfortunate news we were just talking about. There are some people who are hurt right now. 10 people shot in Miami. Not cool. We'll get on to some better things. We're going to talk about Damar Hamlin.
Good news.
That's great news. We are going to talk about 5 body parts that you are not washing enough. Danny Morrison. The one who wants to lay on top of Janet Jackson.
I'm just saying.
We're also going to talk about Dana White. I know we're going to get into that a little bit more probably next week, but we got to talk about it because D.L. Hughley has spoken up. So
saw that. The one about the Browns. I saw that.
It's going to be an interesting one. So.
And I wash all my body parts. Thank you. It's just, I can't wash every single one because my arms aren't long enough. When we come forward.
Oh, my word.
News and traffic right now. It's a Thursday night. Can you tell? Set a series on the other side. Danny Mo Show, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Stay there.
Nighttime is the right time for Danny Morrison on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Damar Hamlin's Buffalo Bills number 3 jersey is topping Fanatics sales. The online retailer says it plans to donate all proceeds from the jersey sales to Hamlin's Toy Drive. President Biden will mark the 2-year anniversary of the attack on the U.S. Capitol Friday. He's expected to award the Presidential Citizens Medal, the second highest civilian honor, to law enforcement officers who defended the building on January 6, 2021. He'll also present medals to election workers and officials who rejected efforts by former President Trump to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Delta will begin offering free Wi-Fi on its flights starting February 1st. CEO Ed Bastian said most of its flights in the U.S. will have the service next month. More flights will then be adding it by the week. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Island from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Hi, this is Tavis.
Tavis, this is Dr. K. We've got a lot to talk about. I'll be in town on the 28th of February. Can you clear your calendar?
Absolutely, Dr. King. Good Lord, do I have some questions for you, sir. Hi, it's Tavis.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother. This is Minister Malcolm. Now, I heard that you and Martin are getting together for a public dialogue on February 28th. You see, now I already know the date. Now, I know y'all not trying to keep me out of that conference. conversation, are you?
No, sir. No, sir.
What happened to George Floyd shouldn't happen, not even to a dog. How long must the Negro continue to endure this foolishness at the hands of law enforcement? People can take but so much before they reach a breaking point.
What do you mean, Black Lives Matter? Black lives haven't mattered in this country since Negroes stopped working for free at the end of slavery. You ought to be talking about Black Guns Matter and start your own NRA. Call it the Negro Revolutionary Amalgamation.
Don't miss this compelling historic radio event, The Return. When Tavis Smiley converses with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. Tuesday, February 28th, 9 a.m. Pacific Time, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580 would like to thank all the businesses that tune in to KBLA at work. We celebrate you, your calls to the station, and your overall support. To show our appreciation, we would like to treat your office to a lunch for 10. Brought to you by K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering. Open the KBLA Talk 1580 app or log on to KBLA1580.com to be selected for our Office of the Week. We know you are just like our staff, putting in many smart, hard-working hours per week. We just want to say thank you, and we appreciate you. You and your staff deserve lunch on us. Enter your office to win lunch for 10 and be highlighted on KBLA Talk 1580 as our Office of the Week. Open the KBLA app or log on to KBLA 1580 to enter your office today to become the KBLA Talk 1580 Office of the Week. Sponsored by K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering.com. Become the KBLA Talk 1580 Office of the Week. This has been a KBLA Talk 1580 community call to action.
At Cedars-Sinai, we're honored to be named the #1 hospital in California and the #2 hospital in the nation in U.S. News & World Report's Best Hospitals Honor Roll. We're also proud to be named #1 in 6 specialties in Los Angeles. Thank you to our physicians, nurses, academic leaders, and thousands of other team members who bring their best to Cedars-Sinai every day. Learn more about our top-ranked care at cedars-sinai.org.
When you're the victim of a car accident, who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP Accident Attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call on me, your MVP.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for human rights. The Los Angeles Civil, Human Rights and Equity Department, or LA Civil Rights for short, is focused on reducing bias and injustices while leveling the playing field. LA Civil Rights does this through equity and empowerment, the Office of Racial Equity, hate prevention, upward mobility programming, and youth programming. They convene commissions and advisory councils. The Civil, Human Rights and Equity Department of the City of Los Angeles is led by founding executive director Capri Maddox and is breaking new ground for municipal governance. LA Civil Rights oversees citywide initiatives, including the Renew program, LA Repair program, and the LA for All campaign. The LA Civil Rights Department believes that the goals of equity and inclusion for all people can be achieved through hard work and collective action. To get involved and be part of the solution, report a civil rights violation, or get more information, visit civilandhumanrights.lacity.org. That's civilandhumanrights.lacity.org or call 213-978-1845. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, I know what this is, I think. Oh, of course. That is that Love Has No Color. Pump that up for Andy. I love you so much, man. That's the track. Listen to the words to this song. We need this right now.
make a brand new start. Love has no color. Love shows no evil to no evil.
I appreciate you, Andy. That is The Winans, Love Has No Color, 1987, I believe. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA. Lower? 6? Wow, 1986. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. I got a DM from Zell who says, "Hi, Danny. I knew you would get one when you posted it. I got one for Christmas, 15 pounds. Talking about the weighted blanket I just opened up live on the air. It builds muscle just carrying it. You have so many wonderful fans. Hashtag not from me."
And by the way, Nola Curtis says, Danny, try a small amount of cherry juice before bed. That may help you out. I don't know.
I don't like fruit, remember?
Oh, okay. Thomas Outlaw on YouTube, by the way. Thank you. I want to say hello to all of you guys. Thomas Outlaw says, I own a weighted blanket. Takes time to get used to, but it feels like a heavy hug, like a Thunder shirt or a little kid on you. Oh, that's cute.
Oh, that's creepy.
No, like just the hug part. The hug part. Not the kid.
A little kid on you.
Ooh, no, but the hug. I guess I can see that.
25. How much does his weigh? I'd love to know. Can he answer in the comments?
Thomas, if you don't mind, yeah, answer that. How much do you? Oh, so I guess you can buy them in different increments. How much they weigh?
10, 15. I looked it up. 10, 15. I don't know if there's a 20, but it was 10, 15, 25 from what I saw. That's the heaviest one.
That's
25.
the heaviest. 25. Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
And it might smother me. I don't know. Can I breathe?
I have no idea. I've never tried it before.
Gonna try tonight. By the way, don't forget in the third hour, we might bring you a few more of the Upon Further Review clips that you all have sent us over the past few days. Clips that extend the conversation on some of the topics we touched on recently on the Danny Mo Show tonight. First clip is of a men's advocate asking a simple yet controversial question that we've been trying to get to all week long. Should there be mandatory DNA testing at birth for women? Huh? The second clip is R&B artist Monica giving us some great fumbling the bag advice for the new year. And then the third clip is a cat talking about how some of these cats out here doing things just for social media, trying to make the 9-to-5s feel bad. Upon Further Review clips coming up in the third hour, but I tell you what, tonight we're discussing Lizzo saying that she's hurt by the fact that many in our community believe that she makes music for white people. Do you believe that to be true? And what makes her or any other black artist receive that kind of pigeonholing when they are black people seemingly making black music? I toss it to the queen before we get into the 7th series. Where you at on this?
I think it's ridiculous. I think that it's unfortunate. That's very small-minded, small thinking. To say that one sort of artist is making music for one genre. Now if it were very specific, such as like country music or something like that, that to me is more of a genre than it is towards like a particular race of people, right? So yeah, I think that that's really sad, and it's unfortunate that she's receiving that type of criticism. Yeah. But yeah, the point is that once you do amass that type of success in like Michael Jackson, you know what I mean? Like everybody loved Michael Jackson, and you can't
Stealing
say.
my thunder right now, by the way. But go ahead. No, go ahead.
But everybody loved Michael Jackson because there was no, and you couldn't say where that landed. You can't tell me what kind of music that Michael Jackson made.
But he got criticism for it.
Okay, well, but
like
he
wouldn't call that black music. That wasn't black music.
It wasn't black music. It wasn't white music. It was just feel-good music. It was music that made you get up and dance, or whatever the case was. And I think that that's where Lizzo is finding herself.
Very well said. Tell you what, since Robin gonna steal some more of my thunder, I better jump into this right now. Let's jump into the 7th series. Let's go. Come on.
One topic, 7 answers. It's time for the 7th series on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Now, look, I've been a student of the music industry since I was a kid, and I've seen this type of behavior from our people more times than I can count. And it saddens me. Real talk. That's why my 7th series tonight is 7 black musicians, past or present, who black people say make music for white people. All right? You want to add to the discussion? You know what to do. You know how we put it down, put it down. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. 7 black musicians, past or present, who black people say make music for white people. Number 1, Will Smith. Yeah, I know that he's in the process of reclaiming his career after the slap heard round the world, but many of you remember him as a hip-hop alter ego, the Fresh Prince. And not the one from Bel Air, the one from Philly, the one with DJ Jazzy Jeff, the one with songs like Parents Just Don't Understand and I Think I Can Beat Mike Tyson. Remember that one? Black people weren't checking for Will back then. And even my hip-hop idol, Big Daddy Kane, said verbatim, the Fresh Prince was rapping for white people. Said that back in the day. And that is the first black musician, past or present, who black people say makes music for the white people. Have black people ever been checking for Will's music? Ever?
I think when he first, I think when he first came out with like Parents Just Don't Understand, I feel like black people were checking for him then. That was very, very us. Where we liked that, you know, but nah, I think not like that, but I feel like not like that. I'm just saying he did, even though he did go off to a place where we were like, a lot of people called him corny. A lot of people just couldn't, you know, understand that type of music or whatever. But I don't think that was for white people like that.
It wasn't for us. So who was it for?
It was just music. That's what I'm saying. We can't say stuff like that. We can't say who was that music for.
I agree.
Yeah, it's
pop.
just
The root word of popular is pop.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're just putting it out there, and whoever loves it, Lizzo
whoever
said that.
loves it, loves it. Exactly.
And you were gonna say
that Big Willie style though? I'm sorry, I felt like the culture was checking for that album. That's the one that had
Getting Jiggy with It?
Yeah, Miami.
That's not a black song, Getting Jiggy with It? Y'all know who wrote that song? I think I told you before. Who wrote Getting Jiggy with It? It wasn't Will Smith. Jay-Z wrote that song.
That's interesting.
Real talk. So maybe it is a black album if Jay-Z wrote it, right?
But you see how you're saying black album, or it wasn't for black people?
What about Wild Wild West? When they go into the Wild Wild West. Remember Cisco?
Yeah.
We're going straight.
Yeah.
Dancing all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, but Will Smith was strategic. Remember, if you read his book and you remember how he even decided how he was going to do movies, how he wanted to become a superstar, he was probably even thinking, I need to make music that goes, you know, along with this kind of these movies. He was probably strategizing. Like, you can't just be like, I'm going to go hip hop.
Right.
It's not going to be believable, number one, because that's not how his personality was. But then also, it would have kept him in a box.
True. Look, it worked. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
He sold that Big Willie style.
Yeah.
That thing went quadruple platinum. It was crazy.
Yeah. What was the song? Just Us Two? Wait, no, Just the Two of Us.
Just the two of
with
us.
With his son Trey.
Oh, that's Trey, huh?
Yeah.
Here I am thinking that was Jaden, but that was Trey.
That was Trey.
That's right. Let's jump back in. 7 black musicians, past or present, who black people say makes music for white people. Number 2, Whitney Houston. Yeah, she's the greatest voice of all time, regardless of what that Rolling Stone magazine said. Y'all see that list?
Side.
Give me a freaking break. But Whitney struggled with being accepted by the black community throughout her entire career. Some say it's what forced her to make a pure R&B album. Remember that I'm Your Baby Tonight album? Didn't sell as well as the other ones, though. Or to make black-centric movies like Waiting to Exhale, trying to show her blackness, or to marry a bad boy like Bobby Brown. To prove her blackness. You want proof? Check it out. Here's how the audience responded to Whitney Houston being nominated for Best R&B Urban Contemporary Single by a Female at the 1989 Soul Train Music Awards. Listen.
The nominees for Best R&B Urban Contemporary Single by a Female are... You better live all that has to be. I hope you see that
Giving you the best that I've got, Anita Baker.
together we can calm the stormy seas.
Watch this.
Where do broken hearts go? Whitney Houston.
They are booing
And they find their
Whitney Houston.
way home.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? In case you're wondering, the other nominees were Karen White and Vanessa Williams, with Anita Baker ultimately winning that award. But did you guys hear the disrespect of Whitney Houston? And we did that multiple times for her, booing her at the Soul Train Awards. And that is the second black musician, past or present, who black people say makes music for white people. Whitney got it her whole career. And it was unfair. Because when she came out with How Will I Know, that ain't no black song. But she's still a black woman making great music.
What is a black song?
That we have to identify that.
But you identify it because you're saying that's not a black song. So I want you to identify it.
I think the black zeitgeist, as we call it sometimes, would say that's not a black song. And I think that's why she got that hell. She had the hair, you know what I'm saying? She was dancing. You look at that music video, too many black people in that thing. So I think people were taken aback by the fact like, oh, you out there, shucking and jiving for the white people. But she's a black woman. She was brought up in the church. She's the freaking niece of Dionne Warwick. Her mom is a gospel artist, one of the greatest of all time. She ain't black? I don't know. 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we jump back into the 7 Series Danny Mo Show, Thursday night, KBLA State.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles. From middays to nighttime. Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
$1 billion fund is helping California homeowners make late payment. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. Relief is available for homeowners struggling to pay their mortgage due to financial hardships caused by the pandemic. The California Mortgage Relief Program is providing a lifeline for qualifying California property owners, especially in underserved communities. Proponents of the program regard it as a safeguard to protecting generational wealth and assets. Grants up to $80,000 for past due mortgages and up to $20,000 for missed property taxes will be distributed to households facing pandemic-related financial hardship. There are no fees to apply, and the grants never have to be paid back. The relief payments are distributed on a first-come, first-served basis. The application is at camortgagerelief.org, and it includes a calculator to help see if you qualify. Contact the Program Center at 1-888-840-2594 for more.
In recent editions of the Los Angeles Standard newspaper, read about Karen Bass's plan to curb crime and homelessness. Black merchants purchase a building in Leimert Park Village. The California Task Force to Study Reparations report. Local HBCU advocates Brandon Miller and Nicole Ford jump the broom. Interior designer Tamara Marie creates environments in people's homes that invoke positive emotions. Black alumni from UCLA and USC's annual joint football tailgate. Introductory aviation and aerospace programs for black youth. The Handy Foundation trains people of color for behind-the-scenes jobs in the film industry. Black-owned LA Grind Coffee and Tea Bar in Mid-City. And black-owned 1010 Wine and Events in Inglewood. Read about these stories at www.lastandardnewspaper.com.
It's the 31st Annual Empowerment Congress Leadership Summit, and you're invited. In this moment of civic crisis, come join LA Mayor Karen Bass, LA County Sheriff Robert Luna, LA City Attorney Heidi Feldstein Soto, our own Tavis Smiley, and more for a powerful day of civic engagement with robust discussions around charter reform, homelessness, financial empowerment, new models of inclusion leadership for multiracial empowerment, and more. Here's your personal invitation from KBLA Talk 1580 to join us Saturday, January 14th, 9 a.m. to 12 noon at Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science during the national observance of Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. For more details, go to info@empowermentcongress.org. Again, it's the 31st Annual Empowerment Congress Leadership Summit, Saturday, January 14th at Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science. For all the details, go to info@empowermentcongress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Dr. Erica Pond with the California Department of Public Health, reminding you of ways to help stop the spread of COVID and other viruses this winter. Boost your immunity by staying up to date with COVID boosters and flu shots. Wash your hands often with soap and warm water for at least 20 seconds. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. And protect others by staying home and testing for COVID when sick. More tips at covid19.ca.gov. Brought to you by CDPH.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Man, I tell you what, at the top of the third hour, we will reset this topic. Robin and I are having a great discussion on this. There's so many, it's a multifaceted topic of conversation that I don't think we can get to in this hour. Yeah. But man, oh man, because here's the question, the overarching question with this entire subject tonight. What is the black experience? Mm-hmm. And if you have melanated skin, isn't every experience black?
Yep. Every black person has a black experience, and there's not one. Not everybody grew up in the hood. Not everybody grew up in the suburbs. Not everybody was rich. Not everybody was poor. Yeah. But there are commonalities amongst all of us. We have darker skin. You probably have experienced racism or know someone who has in your family or something close, but it doesn't. That still. It's just a commonality. That's not necessarily the determination of your black experience.
There it is. Yeah. And some would say, "Oh, you didn't grow up poor. You didn't grow up in the hood. Then
you don't know. Exactly.
That
exactly,
is so
and that's
fair,
wrong.
Unfair.
It's so unfair.
All right, let's jump back in. All right. 7 black musicians, past to present, who black people say makes music for the white people. Number 1 was Will Smith. Number 2 was Whitney Houston. This is number 3, Hammer. Yeah, come on now. This was obvious. Come on. No black rap artist in history has been ridiculed more than MC Hammer was at the peak of his powers. None. When Hammer came out of Oakland with "Let's Get It Started," remember?
Hey,
ooh,
man.
Listen.
Man.
We was on Hammer's bumper and that. Remember? We loved him. He was rivaling Michael Jackson in popularity. Remember? In dance moves, too. Remember? Mm-hmm. That is until You Can't Touch This. And everything changed. Hammer went pop, okay? And the action figure and the Saturday morning cartoon and the Taco Bell commercials was simply much too much for black people. Even though every rap artist now does the exact same thing. Give Hammer his flowers. Stop playing. And that's the 3rd black musician, past to present. Black people say, makes music for the white people.
I just get irritated.
I gotta do it again.
Irritated.
Is You Can't Touch This a black song? Come on. I know it's a Rick James sample, but come on.
I feel like it was.
The brothers wasn't checking for You Can't Touch This.
I feel like it. I feel like it was. I feel like everybody loved it. I feel like everybody loved it. And maybe that's the problem. When everybody loves it, then it's no longer just black for the black community when everybody can identify or dance or love it.
Well said, and I can give you an example of that. That happened with a rap group that I used to really, really love when they were black, and that was the Black Eyed Peas. Mm-hmm. From right here in Los Angeles. Yep. You listen to that. What's the name of that first album? Can't remember.
I can't remember.
The Black Eyed Peas' first album is hip-hop purity. It's so tight. No, that song on there. What's the name of the album, though? Oh, gotta think of it. But that album is amazing. And then the record company said, we're gonna drop Fergie in there with you, and we're gonna take y'all pop. And then we want y'all to do a song with Justin Timberlake, too. Boom, 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 boom. Can't remember the name of that song.
Yeah.
And they went to the moon.
Yeah.
Now, most would say, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
We that love hip-hop is like, what y'all doing, man?
I never looked at them in that way.
Oh.
I never did.
But LA hip hop, we needed some hip hop.
Why is it that people think with the mindset of, if we can't keep you within the black community, we hating on you now. It's a bad thing now. How come they can't be like, no, we want to be superstars and we want music for everybody, that if I go to China, they're going to be singing this song in China. How come we get mad at that? And when we call it, you're no longer black if you go popular. That's crazy to me.
You're dead on, and I don't know why. I don't have an answer.
That's crazy to me.
It's just when we birth greatness from our community and we see them rising, it's the greatest thing ever. And when they keep a toe in our community, I think Mary J. Blige has done that to perfection. They keep a toe in our community, we love them forever.
Nola Curtis says, aren't these artists pushed by their record labels to expand to a wider, whiter audience?
Of course.
And maybe that's the goal, because you'll see all of these, even R&B artists or whatever, Usher has done it, Chris Brown has done it. We could go over and over and over again on who's all done it, but they drop like a pop album or some sort of, what is it, the kind of music, the
EDM,
like an EDM album or at least song.
Oh, I hate that song so much.
Yeah, and so they all do it to expand their audience.
And the record company taps them on the shoulder and go, you know, you're struggling on them album sales. You need to reach them white kids. I know, the black community brought you here, but I don't know. That's number 4. Michael Jackson, the aforementioned from the Queen across from me. Michael was the quintessential pop artist. Boldly went where no pop artist has gone before. We loved him then, and we still love him now. But let's be honest here. Michael coming out with that Beat It song, with those guitar riffs. Come on now. That wasn't considered black music back then. It wasn't. He was a black man singing music and breaking barriers on MTV. But his music was pop music, safe for white people, all the way up until his death. And his nose job and his hair straightening and his skin lightening didn't help his case. Still the GOAT, but it didn't help. That's the fourth black musician, past or present, who black people say makes music for white people. Let me ask you this, because Michael Jackson's Dangerous album, produced by Teddy Riley, is R&B perfection. Is that his only black album? Wait, Off the Wall is fire.
Wait, what did Andy just say?
He shook his head no. Off the Wall's fire. Thriller is a white album. Let's keep it real up in here.
Okay.
Is it not?
White album? Do black people love the Thriller album as well?
I love it. But is the song Thriller an R&B song?
Why? I guess the disconnection is I feel like we should be calling certain music in genres and not races of people.
Okay.
That's my thing. That's why I disconnect, because I'm like, I don't get the whole this is for black people, this is for white people conversation. I don't. Is it hip hop? Is it pop? Is it R&B? Is it like EDM? Like, what is it? And so I can have that conversation thoroughly, but I can't say this is a white song, because I'm like, okay, but black people love it too, so it's also a black song.
Fair enough.
That's weird. It's weird.
It's funny you say that, and it's funny we mentioned Dionne Warwick in the last segment, is because back in the 1980s, George Michael came out with the album Faith, right?
Yeah.
It went to #1 on the R&B charts. So Dionne Warwick and an entire team went to Billboard and said, that can't happen.
Right, yeah.
And they changed the chart to the black chart for a short time. And then they eventually went back. Yeah. And now they're merging hip-hop and R&B, which I don't get. You know, Diddy was complaining about that recently. Why do they do that?
I don't know.
This album is #1 on the hip-hop and R&B chart. Why did they do that?
Yeah.
Why can't we separate them?
Yeah, I don't know.
By the way, we're short on time, but check it out. #5 is Mariah Carey. Okay. #6 is Tina Turner. And #7 is, Kanye West. Yeah. Come on. Does Kanye West, the last 3 albums, for us?
Again, I can't.
Early Kanye, yes. College dropout, graduation.
I have to say this, that as art, such as Michael Jackson, once you become uber popular, you start traveling the world, you start your exposure is different. The people you meet, they're different. You start listening and finding out more. You might meet other producers who put you onto something new that you love, that you never knew you loved because you never experienced it.
Right.
Kanye, same thing. Kanye came from the south side of Chicago. Maybe it was a different sound, but then once he became very popular, started traveling the world and opening up his exposure and being like, oh, I like this, I like that, and start doing more of that, more music that exposes, and it just comes out in his music. So maybe that contributes to why people kind of veer off from where they started.
I agree with that, but I push back only because I think Beyonce has done the opposite. I think when she came out with Destiny's Child, that was all pop music. It was a couple of, Say My Name and all that Bootylicious and all that was R&B records. But
well, I mean, she could be
so
an anomaly.
Black right now.
She can be an anomaly too. Because
Yeah.
how many, people do you see like Beyonce doing the opposite?
Yeah. What was the name of that doc? Black is, what is it? Black
is King.
You don't see artists that reach that level of success. Say, this is for my people right now.
Yeah. Her dad said that she lost a lot of fans because of that.
I bet she don't care.
Her bank account says she don't need to care.
$1 billion on the elevator is all I'm saying. News and traffic right now. When we come forward, we have got Show Raw Report Thursday night edition on the other side. Danny Mo Show. Stay there.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. DeMar Hamlin's Buffalo Bills #3 jersey is topping Fanatics sales. The online retailer says it plans to donate all proceeds from the jersey sales to Hamlin's Toy Drive. President Biden will mark the 2-year anniversary of the attack on the U.S. Capitol Friday. He's expected to award the Presidential Citizens Medal, the second highest civilian honor to law enforcement officers